The latest leg of the Olympic torch relay got underway in a few hours in wet conditions in Hong Kong, in what was seen as a last chance for protesters to pile the pressure on China over Tibet and its human rights record. Despite the drizzly weather, large patriotic crowds of pro-China supporters vastly outnumbered the demonstrators. We can go live to Hong Kong now and get some more detail on the situation there. Our correspondent Quentin Somerville. What sort of preparation did the authorities employ in order to have such delightful scenes for the organisers of the Olympics?
Well, Martine, there was heavy security throughout Hong Kong along the torch's route. It started off here in Kowloon, made its way over to Lantau, one of the islands, and is now heading back further north before eventually ends up behind me on Hong Kong Island itself. It has to be said, yes, there has been a great deal of patriotic fervour here in Hong Kong. There are many visitors over from the mainland. Perhaps that has something to do with it. But genuinely, if you speak to ordinary Hong Kong people, I think people are very proud to have the torch here. And the scenes across the world where the torch was attacked in London, it was extinguished in Paris, have actually galvanised support, not just for the Olympic Games, for the torch, but also for mainland China. So we've seen people here in Hong Kong wearing red in support of a show of unity, if you like, with the motherland, waving the Chinese flag and singing the Chinese national anthem.
But the authorities weren't prepared to leave it to chance, it seems. They stopped many activists from entering the territory for fear that they could cause some uncomfortable moments for the torch and the organisers.
Absolutely. At least 7 activists were prevented from entering Hong Kong just before the flame arrived here. It should be said, though, that here in Hong Kong it's very different from the mainland. This is one country but two systems, so there is freedom of speech, there is freedom of expression. So there were protesters out on the street today protesting against China's rule in Tibet, China's policies in support of the government in Sudan, particularly over the issue of Darfur. And those voices are allowed to be heard here in Hong Kong. Perhaps the last chance. The torch does go to Macau next of all, but then it moves to the mainland proper. And when it's there, there will be no protests allowed, and any protesters will be dealt with severely. And if foreigners protest, they will be deported. So a very tough line will be taken in China. But all of that said, the torch is expected to receive an ecstatic welcome as it travels across China's provinces over the next 3 months.
Okay, Quentin, thank you very much.